Welcome back to 1 Million Pumpkins Ranch for more public displays of homesteading. It's the end of July and things are going off here in the yard garden. Big old fat Cherokee purple tomato. The next bushes also have some Cherokee purples setting. And then it looks like this one here is an Amish paste. So glad at least one of those made it. I'm so glad I planted zinnias in between the vegetables. They're so colorful. The pollinators love them, and I even saw a hummingbird visit them this morning. The watermelon has a watermelon setting, and each tentacle of the plant has at least one little baby one. We've got 2 zucchinis to pick, and there's a third one still growing. Here's the Armenian cucumber. It's loaded with male flowers, but still no female flowers have appeared. Looking down the pepper row, this one doesn't have anything yet. This one's looking great. Nothing on that one yet. Nothing, just a tiny little purple cayenne. But then look at these. Loaded. And this is evidently an Ancho Poblano with fruits on it. Nothing on this little guy. And look at this. Paprikas are starting to ripen. Looks like another Anaheim with more peppers on it. And a pretty tall baby purple cayenne. Pretty much every tomato plant is setting fruit at this point. And the tall ones are straining. I really need to prune those and tie them up again. It's getting even more difficult to walk in between the rows. I think this is a butternut, and it's producing big, beautiful male flowers. Hopefully the females will appear soon, and then we'll get some butternut. Beets. This crookneck. Oh, they seem like they're too small one day, and then you come back and they've grown to quite a size. And my corn is starting to tassel. It's so short this year. Last year it was like 6 feet tall. So there are pole beans underneath, and I was hoping they could train up the corn. They did that last year, but the pole beans are growing faster than the corn, so probably going to need to stake it. And each row is a week behind the adjacent one. Okra was a total fail this year, and then surprisingly there are no seeds here in town. I'd have to go order them. Anyways, I'm giving up on okra this year, but these bush beans have survived chickens coming in as well. See, there's a pole bean getting tall. These did not like having grass in them, so I chopped and dropped the grass recently and started watering them more, and they started to grow and bloom. All of these cucurbits They're squatty, but they are blooming up a storm. Straight necks. Look at that, a female flower about to make fruit. I think that's another Armenian cucumber. And I cannot remember which one this is. We'll find out. Matt's little corn. It has silk now and it's forming ears. They're adorable little miniature corns. In these 6 Zypits, got the tomatillos. This one has some lettuce as a companion. I love how thick the stalks are on that. This purple variety is loaded. These survived the cucumber beetle attack. Here's some with some marigolds. This one, though, is the beast. Look at how huge. Just loaded with fruits. This little tomatillo is starting to bust out with some fruits. And it's adjacent herbs like the Thai basil and another Thai basil and an oregano. And then back in there is a cushaw squash and a wildflower, globe mallow. This little elm is getting thicker and taller. I'm probably going to need to prune it so that it will grow as a tree rather than a shrub. Yep, it's the peak of summer in the garden. Over here where I harvested all of the garlic, I've planted, excuse me, 2 rows of fall crops. So I planted melons and pumpkins and broccoli and lettuce. Broccoli and pumpkins, and there's also fava beans planted in there. This other row has about the same mix. I think those are melons. I think those are lettuces. There's fava beans that have not yet sprouted. In between the lettuces. And some broccolis. And then pumpkins. Now, even if these Magdalena Big Cheese pumpkins do not have time to produce ripe, large pumpkins, last year we really enjoyed eating the immature ones as a summer squash. These sleek flowers are loaded with seed-bearing fruits, and at their feet, baby pepper plants and Swiss chard. Oh, a volunteer fennel. Beets. These beets are taking too long. I want to eat them. I harvested all of these radishes. And then there's parsley, and purple Savoy cabbage. Swiss chard. And my cilantro went to seed, making coriander. Prioritizing in the garden has been challenging. There's so much to do. But I think I really need to swiftly prep these beds on this trellis and get them planted with pole beans. There's always more chopping and dropping to do, but look at how vigorous the raspberries are. These raspberries might actually survive. And then I want them to overwinter and become perennials. Now this front section of the garden has gotten quite weedy, but that's just more nutrition for the soil. Big old oregano, underneath the tomatillo with a globe mallow. This volunteer sunflower is taller than me. Artichoke. These are starting to change color at last. Bell peppers. More bell peppers. And we've got mint. Tomatillos. I'm hoping to have an amazing quantity of tomatillos this fall. Basil getting bushy from being picked. More tomatillos. And a Thai basil. This rosemary is starting to give me a little bit more hope for the future. It sure was slow, but now it's starting to really lift off. And a tiny little pepper. And Big Jim Anaheim peppers, loaded. Here's a thyme. Little scorpion peppers. Lavender. Celery. It's so pretty with the purple and pink. I love that. Our little baby chickens have been busting in here. They go over the 2-foot chicken wire through the field fence. And so there used to be some peppers planted over here, but they're gone now. This space needs to be developed. So like I was saying, it's hard to decide. Develop the trellis first or develop this. But I think I probably need to do the trellis because those climbers need to get busy immediately. These Jerusalem artichokes sure are thirsty. They wilt every afternoon and they really want a good deep soak every day if possible. I don't know what's up with this area of the garden. It was like the toughest, most trampled, compacted section right here at the entrance, and it doesn't really want to grow tender vegetables too much. These were beautiful. They've gone to seed now, and I'm just letting them for now, but mostly weeds want to grow here, and this weed right here is beautiful but very poisonous. That's a silverleaf nightshade. And over here are these wild morning glories. They're so pretty. Nothing much sprouted when I re-sowed these chevrons. So at least the weeds are putting living roots in the soil. And here's the peanuts. They're growing very slowly. I just keep looking ahead into the future for when this elm tree provides shade over this whole chevron area. That will be luxurious. And here's another area that I've been wanting to develop but just haven't had the time. I'm gonna have to harvest a bunch of beans from this bean pile and put it into the trellis trenches because those are just completely unamended. And I had wanted to plant squash and pumpkins into this pile, but I just couldn't get to it in time. Maybe next year. The salt bush is in full fruit, like this married couple. She's very pregnant, and the pollinator has spent flowers. Well, thank you for visiting my garden with me. I hope you have a beautiful day. Cheers and blessings.